Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery. It is wonderful to see you, visit with you, whether you're joining us live or listening to the recording afterwards. We do get together most weekday mornings at 8 o'clock Central, and Christina, who's on, had said, "Hey, Tom, you didn't remind me." And you're right. Some mornings we'll come in and we'll send a reminder out. But in general, other than holidays or travel, we're here most weekday mornings at 8 o'clock Central. So you can just put it on your calendar. Today, we're going to have a topic, and it's going to be a little deeper than maybe what you anticipated. It may be a little bit uncomfortable, but we're going to have an interesting discussion today on the goal of I'd like you today to go find a broke person. And that sounds rather unorthodox, doesn't it? Again, as we go through, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can type that into the Q&A box, question and answer box of Zoom. It's like a chat box. So let's talk about this. Why in the world would you and I want to go help a broke person? Wouldn't we want to go find a rich person to help? Because, we have this whole startup business funding package to help create fundable businesses, blah, blah, blah. We're not here to really talk about that right now. But wouldn't you want to go find a rich person? Why would we want to go find a broke person? Well, first, we probably need to define broke. So let me ask you, could you type into the Q&A box how you define broke? What do you think it means to be a broke American? Now, of course, there's people that live in third world countries and they don't have food security or housing security. That's horrible. That's not what we're talking about. But in our society, how would you define broke? Okay, David answered, and that's pretty close to what I was going to say. David said it's someone who lives paycheck to paycheck. So they have income coming in, but they have expenses going out, pretty much matches up, not much left over. Okay, thank you, David. Anyone else have anything they want to add to that? So, okay, well, Susan says essentially someone who doesn't have any savings. She said the word cushion. Okay, good. Make this just a bit wider. So you can see where we're going with it. We're not talking about someone that's homeless, that's living under the bridge. And again, I'm not being insensitive to that, but just in our general society, there are a lot of people who are broke, who don't have extra money, that they're just getting by. Now, it's interesting. There's some people that make a lot of money that still are broke, and there's some people that don't make much money that are broke. I've seen many people that have six-digit incomes, 100,000 or more. They're still broke because they're spending everything that comes in. Well, if we want to consider what we do, so we should be building financial literacy, and we should be helping others access capital to start or grow a business. So I'm not saying that that's all that should be done in the world, but that's what we do through our relationship, you and I. What we do through the Chapman Loan Program is two things. We help build financial literacy, and we help others access capital to start or grow a business. And we do that, of course, by creating a fundable business. Now, number one and two work really closely together, because I cannot tell you how often it's not just occasional, it's the majority of people that think I just want money, where they really should be thinking I want to be qualified for money, because you won't get money if you're not qualified. So let's talk about some key misunderstandings or just mistakes that people make in regards to money. So let's identify some of those together and go ahead and type it into the Q&A. What is something that you've experienced or you've seen that people get wrong? And because they get it wrong, they think about it wrongly, that they limit themselves or they harm themselves or they don't reach their potential. So I'll put the first one in and you can type in your idea. Again, it's the idea of I want money. Where what should it be? It should be I want to be qualified to obtain funding. See the difference? Because so many people, that all they're thinking about is, I want money, I need money, get me money. Well, are you fundable? Is your business fundable? And so often it's not, and they disregard that. It's like just an annoyance. It's like when we try to educate them of what they need to be fundable, that frustrates them. No, I just want money. Well, there's not a lender in the world that's going to disregard those things. So let's skip down for a moment. We'll come back to this. Where, and this is a key point here, where can money come from to start or grow a business? And I'll give you a hint. There's only 4 options. So these are categories. So the first of which is debt. We could go out and borrow money. Debt is borrowing money. We're promising to pay it back. Now, there's different types of debt instruments. There's revolving and installment. There's expensive and there's cheap. There's SBA loans and MCA. So there's lots of different types of debt, but that's one way, right? So we're going to go borrow money. All right, what is another way that we can get money to start or grow a business? We can have an equity injection. So that could either be out of our own pockets or out of someone else's, where it's not debt. We're not borrowing money either from ourselves or from an investor or from a friend or family member, but they're putting money in. Now, we're not talking about a gift. I'll get to gifts in a second, but it's more of they're becoming a partner, right? So let's make sure we explain this. So this means borrow with promise to repay. Equity injection is injection for ownership, typically. So they're becoming, either it's your equity because you own the business and so you're putting some of your own money in, or someone else is putting their money in. And typically under number 2, it's because they're expecting to share in future profits of the business, and that's usually structured through ownership. So there's only 4 options. What's number 3? Number 3 would be the whole gifts, grants. And we'll call this free money. A lot of people like free money. They want free money. They want money that's just given to them that they don't have to pay back. That's available on some scale, but that's not the majority of how businesses get money to start or grow. But that is one option. The 4th is good old-fashioned earned income. And this is going to tie, I'm going to put some asterisks around this because this is tying back to our point of find a broke person. Because a lot of times broke people, and we'll make this number 2, a lot of times broke people think, I will borrow my way out of being broke. We'll make that a quote. Have you ever heard someone that they're broke? And again, I'm not being insensitive, but they're broke, and they feel like the way to stop being broke is to go borrow more money. Think about that for a moment. That's tough to pull off. It's hypothetically possible if you borrowed money and you had some way to inject it into something that's going to generate income and you come out ahead. So theoretically that's possible. But in general, does that make sense? I'm broke, and so what I want to do is borrow more money so I can not be broke anymore. It's a bit ironic, right? It's inconsistent. We probably need some other way out of stopping being broke than trying to borrow more money. The other issue is it is obviously difficult to borrow money when you're broke. So the topic we're on here is key misunderstandings, and it's that broke people can borrow money. Now, that's a little bit of a generalization, and there's some finessing that can happen there. But in general, if we're going to borrow money, we need to be able to show that we can pay it back, right? Because in a lender's environment, they're looking at risk, and lenders want to loan money, right? They're not evil people that don't want to loan money. They want to loan money, but they want to loan money profitably, which at the core means they loan someone money and they get paid back, principal and interest. That's what lenders do. There's some ways to game the system here, but in general, I think these are really three good key misunderstandings, mistakes that you and I run into. People that think, first of all, I just want money. I need money. Okay, do you have a fundable business? No. Well, then we have to do that first. So our real desire, it's as if you and I wanted to be a doctor, and I'm certainly not smart enough to ever be a doctor, but I want to be a doctor. I want to be a doctor. Well, you probably should really want to go to medical school first, right? Because you can't just become a doctor. You can't just get funding. You need to be qualified. You need to be fundable. The second misunderstanding mistake that you and I often deal with is people thinking, I'm going to borrow my way out of being broke, which we've talked about. And this is all going to pull together in just a moment, so hang in there with me. And the other is that it's easy for broke people to borrow money. So with that being said, where we were at here, we talked about there's 4 different ways and only 4 categories. Now there's subcategories, but there's only 4 categories of where money can come from to start or grow a business. That's it. There's no others. It's either to go borrow money, it's either to get equity injection, it's to get gifts or grants, free money. And people really love free money, but that's available on a smaller scale than the others. And then there's earned income. So what is it that you and I can do? So here's the question. What can you and I do to help broke people while generating a profit for yourself? Because it's okay to help people and make money from it, right? Hospitals are there to help you when you have disease or illnesses or injuries, but they need to make money or they won't be around. Doctors are there to help you. So there's lots of examples where in our society, there's products, services, goods, professionals that help people, but they make money from it, right? Because in general, if you don't make money, you won't continue to do it. You'll go do something else. So first of all, well, and maybe that's another mistake. A mistake is thinking that making money is bad. It's kind of the American way, because unless you live in a socialistic environment where there's lots of free money, you probably need to make money. So making money is not bad. Now we need to do what we say that we'll do. We need to have integrity. We need to offer a valuable good or service, but it's okay to make money. So we get down to the question, which really ties to our topic today. I would like each of you today to go find a broke person. Again, we know that broke can mean different things, and almost everyone has a reason for being broke. But we're not here to judge anyone. We just want to solve the problem. We want to help broke people not be broke anymore. And we want to accomplish that by helping them build their financial literacy and then helping them with one of these things, because it can only be one of those 4 things, that there's no other options. So there's really 2 things we can do to help broke people. The one of which is we can enroll them in the startup program so they have a fundable business. Now, what that business is up to them. It could be daycare, it could be an accounting firm, it could be whatever they want, but you and I can help them improve their financial literacy and position them to access capital, really any one of these four categories, through our program. The other thing that's especially valuable, even if they don't want to enroll, is you and I can enroll them to be a distribution partner. Recently, we announced some economic incentives to do number two. So we'll do number two incentives for you. Number one is you make $250 each time you enroll someone. So someone that enrolls to be a distribution partner, which they enroll here in the red, if you refer them in, we'll provide you a free landing page, which we talked about. And as long as you fed them in through your landing page and they sign here, you get $250 for you. So we're talking about what's in it for you. We can talk about what's in it for them in a moment, but we'll talk about you first. So $250, not a real big deal, but I mean, if you did that per day, you're making $1,250 a month, $1,250 a week, $5,000 a month. That's more than the average American makes. The second is the really big. You make a 2-point override, which means 2% of the capital raise of all clients through the referred in branch. So this is passive income, right? Because you don't have to do anything. You had to do something to kind of bring them to the table to introduce and get them to enroll here. But in terms of this is just pure passive income. So let's say that you run into a broke person. A great question is, well, does it bother you that money's tight? And what's your plan? What are you going to do to resolve it? And so a lot of times people don't have a plan, or the plan they have is inconsistent with their current reality, so they can't execute that plan. So they might have a great plan, but maybe it requires money and they don't have any money. So what I would encourage you to do is if you're out and you run into a broke person, like Christina is talking, well, we didn't talk this morning. She's got several entrepreneurs that are wanting to sign up, but they can't sign up yet. They got to wait till payday, which is this Friday. They don't have the money to sign up to enroll in the startup program. They want it, they need it, but they just simply don't have $500. Well, that's an underlying problem that we probably need to help them address. It's like, wow, Joe or Susie, money must be really tight right now. Did you know that you can also be one of our distribution partners? And as a distribution partner, you're paid to help other people. Now, they make the normal money, and if you're not familiar with the money that our distribution partners make, it's in certification module 4. We're not network marketing, it's not get rich quick, but on average, you're looking at around $25,000, $26,000 each time they refer someone in. So it's a good side gig. It may not replace their main income, but certainly, as we've talked about, every branch should be bringing in at least $100,000 a month. Well, I don't think broke people are bringing in $100,000 a month, so we can certainly solve that. But from your perspective, you're able to make $250 today or tomorrow. We'll pay out same day or next day. Plus, you're getting the ongoing overrides. The question you might have is, well, wait, the fallacy with this is, okay, if I find a broke person and I educate them, and then I want to help them become a distribution partner, isn't there a setup fee to be a distribution partner? Well, they don't need to pay that out of pocket. I think that's a common mistake. So yes, there is a setup fee to be a branch office. However, it does not have to come out of the pocket of the distribution partner. Did you know that? What do you mean? If there's a setup fee and it's due up front and they're broke, then it doesn't make sense that they would never be able to participate. That's exactly wrong. That's exactly wrong. That's horribly wrong. They can come here and sign up. Then we can help them enroll their first client. They make money from their first client that covers their setup fee, plus starts generating profit for them. And for you, now you have an ongoing revenue stream by having your first member of your sales team. So who has questions on this concept? I'll review it and then you can type in your questions or comments. So the request that I have for each of you is today, go out and find a broke person. And we talked about what broke means. And then educate them a bit. You can educate them about what we do. Not trying to sell them anything, but just educate. Hey, did you know that I'm working with a Grant-Subsidized program that helps anyone have a fundable business? I mean, we've got the formula down to a T of what it takes to have a fundable business. And through this Grant-Subsidized program, we can help anyone have a fundable business. So you educate them a bit. And then see, are you looking for money to start or grow a business? And if they say, yeah, I have a small business or I'd like to have one, then what's the second qualifying question that we've talked about before? Well, is your business currently fundable? The way it stands now, can you go down to the bank and get the money that you want? What's most of them going to say? No, or they don't know. So, of course, you can educate what it means to have a fundable business, and this training right here will do it for you. Once you've done that, let's say that they say, well, that sounds great, but what does it cost to do this? Now, you could say, well, there's a $500 down payment necessary to enroll in the Startup Business Funding Package. And let's say they come back and say, well, wait, Christina, I don't have $500. That sounds great. I could benefit from this. I see it. I understand it. I don't have $500. I'm broke. Then that instantly, anyone that has trouble enrolling with you, that should instantly pre-qualify them for them becoming a distribution partner. Because whatever they're doing in their life isn't working so well. They literally don't have $500 of liquidity. That's horrible. And that's preventable. No one should be broke. If they're broke, that means that they don't have an economic engine to generate more money coming in than they spend. You have the ticket to help anyone do that by helping them enroll in the Opportunity Fund, and you have an incredible incentive to do so. You make $250 same day or next day when they enroll, and your passive income stream is phenomenal, right? We broke this down before. So let's say that you enrolled Susie, right? So Susie brings on a client. So you're making the 250. I'm sorry, you made the 250 when Susie came aboard, but the client raises, let's say, 250,000. So how much do you make? 2 points of that. You make $5,000 passive income. So regardless of how you're wanting to run your branch, the point today is if you're running into anyone that their objection for not enrolling is that they're broke, then first of all, of course, we need to educate them about how the program works and how it's going to resolve that, how we can help them with any of these 4 areas. There's only 4 ways to get money. And, depending upon how confident you are in this conversation, it starts to help them. If they're broke and they're thinking that they're going to borrow their way out of being broke, that's a bit of a flawed concept, right? Because the more money you borrow, the more broke you are. So you can offer them an opportunity to be able to generate income while it creates massive passive override income for you. So who has questions, comments, concerns on how to better address your prospects who don't even have $500? If they don't have $500 to enroll, then they probably need to become a distribution partner of which you receive overrides from. That's the bottom line. Questions, comments, concerns on how you and I can help people with earned income? Because I think a lot of people are the mindset, I'm going to borrow my way out of being broke. But we must have earned income somewhere, right? How are we going to pay back the debt that we want to borrow if we don't have earned income? Well, they might say, well, get me the money and I'll put it in my business and then it'll generate earned income. Well, fair enough. But between now and then, what are you going to do? Let's plug you in to the opportunity fund between now and then, so you're generating an adult income in the meantime. Questions, comments, concerns on how you and I can help people, help broke people. I think you and I have a contrarian approach. Most of society wants to go look for, especially in the business funding space, they want to go look for really successful businesses that have been open more than 2 years, businesses that are bringing in more than 10,000 a month. Those are common numbers that you'll see that are prerequisites. We want to help the others. We want to help those that are imperfect, those that are downtrodden. We want to find broke people, because you and I can help broke people, and these are the individuals that are typically not offered assistance. We can help them have a fundable business that could qualify for debt, that could qualify for equity injection, and could qualify for gifts or grants. So regardless of which of these three that they're wanting, it's fine that they need to enroll so they have a fundable business. What we do is equally applicable to all three of these options. But also what you and I do, which is unique, without being network marketing, without being multi-level, is you and I can help anyone earn income. You must earn income. You can't, you don't want to be broke. We need to earn income. How do you earn income? You either go get a job. Once in a while, I'll talk to a prospect and their idea is, well, yeah, money's tight, I'll go get a job. That's insane, because there's very few of us that have such great intellect, education, or marketability that we can make more as an employee than we can as an entrepreneur. That's possible, but it's very, very, very rare. I mean, even just if you were to bring on one distribution partner a day, that's $250 a day. That's $1,250 a week. I know we said this earlier. That's $5,000 a month. There's not a lot of jobs. There's some, but there's not a lot of jobs that pay more than $5,000 a month. Let's say that they respond to you, well, this sounds good, but no, I don't want to run a branch. Then hire them as being a sales rep for you, because you've already determined that they're broke, whatever they're doing is not working. Then hire them as a rep for you. You can make them 1099 or W-2, whatever you want. You can pay them a base pay, you can pay them a salary, you can pay them commissions. I mean, it's up to you how you want to pay your team, but help them stop being broke by being an employee or a distribution partner of your branch if they don't want to take the leap and open their own branch. All right, with that, our goal is to make sure that every one of your branches generates at least 100,000 every month, including April. So we have so many of you on here. Bernard, we must make your branch profitable. We must make your branch successful. This month, we need to make sure that you have at least $100,000 of gross income into your branch. So Bernard and Christina and David and Gilbert and Jeanette and Johnny and Larry and Marilyn and Mike and Pauline, we have 318 of you, and Robert, Selena, Sanya, Terrence, so many, Tolly and others. We need to be of the mindset. You're the CEO of your branch. Your branch is a business. Your business needs to be profitable. If it's not profitable, let's fix it. Let's fix it. Reach out to us, call us, email us. We're here to help. There are 3 things that you do as a branch. You generate leads, you educate leads, and you enroll leads. We've got to do those 3 things. Got to make sure that's in your mindset. When you get up in the morning, you need to generate leads, educate leads, and enroll leads. If you need help with any of those, let us know. You can outsource those things. You can do it. Whatever it takes, let us know. We want to make sure that every one of you have a 6-figure month this month. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you back tomorrow. Bye-bye.